My name is Melody Olander, and I am the founder of But You Don't Look Sick. Actually, kind of started as an accident, which is kind of weird and kind of funny when I always tell the background story. Initially, it started with a therapy journal. I was drawing, writing in a journal, ended up publishing it for close friends, family, and put it on Amazon. I didn't really expect much besides friends and family wanting to see it. From there, I had all these strangers starting to reach out to me on Facebook saying, hey, I found your book. I really relate to this part. And I was honestly ignoring these messages because it was my personal page, but I really wanted to talk with them. And so I ended up making But You Don't Look Sick on Instagram and telling these people, hey, just go over here, we can talk. I'll post pictures of my book, quotes from it, whatever. And it blew up. There's over 43,000 followers on there now. So it's really just been a domino effect of But You Don't Look Sick, and the therapy journal really started back in 2014. So when I was in high school, I woke up one day, blind in my left eye, couldn't feel any of my body besides extreme pain. Really weird event. My mom called my doctor, freaking out. They took me to the ER where they medically sedated me. Kept me medically sedated for about a week. Couldn't figure out what was going on. I ended up checking myself out of the hospital so I could walk at my senior graduation. And over the next few months, things really went downhill. I lost a lot of weight. I was having seizures, passing out, and I was eventually diagnosed with POTS, EDS, and a rare neurological disease called CIDP. So it's been quite the journey. It's been 7 years now. I want to say there's pros and cons to both. The cons, of course, we're in a pandemic. It sucks. Honestly, a lot of us have had our treatment paused or stopped completely. I do want to say the pros, though, is a lot more people are becoming understanding of what this community has been going through. So everyone has to wear masks now. I was always wearing masks before the pandemic. It was normal for me. Everyone would stop me and say, what's wrong with you? Why are you wearing a mask? Are you contagious? And now it's normal. I don't have to worry about that stuff. A lot more people are working remote, so that was normal for me before the pandemic. A lot more people are now volunteering or working remotely, so that's helped the nonprofit and getting volunteers. So I do say there's pros and cons, but yeah, that's just how it's affected me personally. Yeah, so for the short amount of time that But You Don't Look Sick has existed, I want to say it's impacted a lot of people, and the stories that I've heard were honestly stories I wasn't expecting. I've gotten DMs from people saying, it sounds really heavy, but people saying I was about to commit suicide and I didn't because I came across your page and I don't feel alone. And yeah, when I get those messages, I'm not gonna pretend to be all tough. I tear up, I cry, it's intense. And you see okay, I made a complete difference to this stranger, so it's been, with But You Don't Look Sick, it's really been, I want to say, a huge domino effect of stuff. It really started with the communication side of Instagram. From there, people wanted longer stories, longer stuff that I really couldn't fit in a post. So we then started sharing blogs. And then from there, people wanted even more in-depth stories. So we did a podcast. And from there, we then ended up launching into a nonprofit. And now we're starting to fundraise for other patients and their medical bills, what's not covered by insurance. Yeah, so But You Don't Look Sick has a lot of goals. We have an amazing volunteer team of a lot of amazing individuals, people that work with all these amazing organizations, and they see the vision of But You Don't Look Sick. So we've started the grant writing processes, and we're starting to fundraise for patients and their medical bills. It's something that a lot of people don't realize. Yeah, I want to say the pandemic, the most frustrating part for a lot of us is, I want to say, seeing the complaints and people wanting to go back to this sense of normalcy and all the inconveniences that it's brought them. But it's very different for our community in a more heavy way. We see on the headlines people happy that disabled people are dying, in a sense, that they're saying oh, it's only the disabled people, it's only the ones with comorbidities that are dying from this pandemic. And that's the hard part. When you have people going around saying, it's just the cold, everyone's gonna get it, you're fine, like, why are you freaking out? The pandemic's not going anywhere. And then on the other side, they say 75% of people who are dying from COVID are those with comorbidities. That's me. I have CIDP, I have POTS, I have EDS. A cold kid has put me in the hospital with pneumonia. So that's kind of our reality and where it gets, I want to say, frustrating in a sense. Yeah, so if anyone's interested in supporting, helping, but you don't look sick, there are quite a few different ways, whether it is you want to help financially and donate to the organization. That's something that we're always working on. If you have friends who want to volunteer, if you want to volunteer yourself, that's something you can do. We have people submit blogs and pieces of what it's like for them to go through a chronic illness. So whether it's sharing your own personal story, helping financially, or if you have some sort of education or some sort of skill set that you think you can help with, we're always happy to accept help in any way. So our podcast is called Real Talk with Melody. It's an unfiltered podcast talking about what it's like living with chronic illnesses, talking with other individuals. It's available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So Apple, Anchor, Spotify, you can search Real Talk with Melody, and our first season is up there, and we will be starting our second season soon. So the book is called But You Don't Look Sick, Part 1. That one will be re-up because I'm going to be posting another book soon. So we will be posting both of those. But that book is called But You Don't Look Sick, Part 1, and Part 2 will be my full story of living with this condition. So anyone who wants to connect with us, see what we're about, our main, I want to say, hub is our website. That is butyoudon'tlooksick.com. And then from there you can see our blogs. It connects to all of our social media. Our Instagram page is But You Don't Look Sick Official. Our Twitter is But You Don't Look Sick. We're on TikTok. You can literally find us everywhere.